Hello, everyone. Today we are going to get back to working on the Scooby Doo house. Now it's been almost 4 months. I have not done anything to this house since September, and of course we are now in a new year, and it just feels like it's been so long, even longer than the time it's been. So I'm excited to get back to work on it, but I've just got to get in the vibe because I've just been working on other things. So I've got to get my mind, set back to Scooby Doo mode. And then I'm going to try to get some big stuff done to the house today so that I can get back to doing what I call the fun stuff, like the little details stuff. Um, so we're going to try to hopefully get the big stuff done today so we don't have any more of that to worry about. So let's just check out the video and see what I was able to do. All right, so before we get started with the house, I do want to show this little workspace here. Now, this is where I sit and work. This table and all this stuff here is not normally in my room. This is just stuff I work with when I'm working on dollhouses. And then I've recently got this little shelf here for my pop collection, and that will eventually sit kind of where this is at when I'm done doing the dollhouses and I clear all this mess out of here. And something else is, this is in my room, my bedroom, and this is where my Scooby Doo collection is. And of course, I've been going through that collection recently. I've decided to sell off some stuff, mainly like bigger things. If it can't fit on a shelf, it's got to go because I mean, there's so much stuff in this small space that I'm just trying to thin it out. So I've just decided to let go of some of the bigger stuff like the bigger stuffed animals and all that kind of thing. Now I'm going to share a picture at the end of how my bedroom looks. Now that's the picture is while I was taken while I am like dragging stuff out of the closets and stuff, trying to just sort it from keep to like the sell pieces. So I mean, it looks like a complete disaster in that picture, but I just want to show that. And then maybe show an after picture of how it's looking at the moment. But anyways, my closet was so crammed full of Scooby-Doo stuffed animals that you open the door and they come falling out, and you'll see that in the picture. It's unbelievable. I couldn't even get to my clothes, and that's the type of collecting I don't want to do. If it has to be shoved in a closet, you don't need it. If you can't have it on display, you don't need it. I mean, I want my collection to be where I can look at it and enjoy it. I don't want it packed under the bed, packed in boxes, packed in the closet. I don't like that. So that's another part of why I want to thin out the collection. Mainly, for that reason, not being able to see it, but also just trying to give myself more space. So that's something I've been doing, and that kind of triggered me to want to start working back on the Scooby Doo house this week because I've kind of been getting back in that Scooby mode. So I was excited to get back to work on it. But anyways, here we go. All right, so here is where we left off with the Scooby Doo house. Now, I've got to get back in the vibe of this house because where I've been working on Dorothy's, I've just got to get my mind back into the Scooby Doo world. Now I went in today and I glued the rugs in because I know that's where I want them, and it's so much better to have them glued down because they kind of move around sometimes and it kind of drives you insane. Um, and then of course I took everything out. Anything that's not glued in, I took out so I could work on it better. Um, Now what my plan is for today is to actually put siding on the outside. Now I've got this end done and I'm going to work on this end out here and then get this part done. And at some point I'm going to put more windows on the outside. Now they're not going to actually go all the way through like a real window. They're just going to be like little decoy windows. And then there's going to be a little fun thing that I'm going to do with those after they're done to include more characters. Um, so right here, that's going to be a door, and it's going to have a little balcony out here because, from the inside, when you go through that secret passage, I thought you needed to go either in a room or something. So instead of building a whole nother room back here, I thought it'd be easier just to have like a little balcony. So that's what my plan is for that. Now I just got to get in the mood, or get my mind set to it, because like I said, it's been almost 3 months, which it's actually been four, because the last video was posted on Halloween. And so even through all October, I didn't even work on it because I already had all the videos done in September. So I haven't actually worked on this in September. So it feels like it's been so long ago, which it kind of has. That is a pretty long time. But anyways, I'm gonna hopefully get the siding done. I'm really hoping to do that. This is actually Thursday, and I usually do my videos on Friday. So I'm gonna see if I can get that done along with all the other stuff I've got going on. And then I've got some really cool shingles. I'm going to bump us over here where we can check those out. All right, so I got these little shingles, and somebody actually gave them to me. They're made out of balsa wood, so they're real wood, and they're really cute once you get them laid out. I'm going to lay a few out here so you can see how cool they look. I'm hoping I've got enough to cover the roof, because I really wanted to use these in a project. So look how cool they look once you actually get them laid out. I'm just really hoping that I've got enough. I think I do, but and if I don't, I can maybe cut out a few extras with some sort of a cardboard that's the same thickness. But don't that look awesome? It kind of looks like fish scales, but I really like those, so hopefully we'll get to use them. So to come up with these pieces, I have made them the same size as, well, that one's not. Of course, I pick up the one that's not. I trace out these pieces with a ruler. They're just as wide as what my ruler is, and I'm just cutting them to fit here on the end. And so I took one and measured it, and it goes pretty quick once you get into doing it, and then just chop that off. And then these little pieces that are being cut off at the end, like that's the piece to go out here, this is the piece that got cut off. But what's cool about these pieces is way up here, these pieces actually just happen to fit up here. So all them little pieces I'm cutting off, I won't have to cut them because they're already cut. Just happens to be the perfect size to go up through there. So that's just one of those lucky little happy things that's happened as I've been working. So that's going to take out all the time it would have taken to cut those, because it's just already done, and I'll just be ready to glue them on when I get up that high. So I'm just going to keep on gluing these up, and hopefully, like I said, we'll get this done today and work on some other stuff. I love how I'm using these cereal boxes and some of these little pieces. As I flip them around, I've got like a character looking at me. And then this one little piece has some little uh, Elf on the Shelf characters. And then one of them, here's another little guy peeking around the corner. And then one of them had Winifred Sanderson, because, I'm still actually using up some of these Hocus Pocus boxes that I had. So they've got a whole little character. I should have done them to where we could have seen all those characters from the outside. That would actually be a cool idea for a dollhouse if you didn't want to paint it, and just have all these really cool boxes making the siding of your house. But of course, we don't need them all looking like that. So unfortunately, they're going to have to be painted, but that would be a cool idea for a future project, or if somebody else wanted to do that, that'd be really cool to see how that would turn out at the end. It'd be awfully colorful. All right, so I've got this done here all the way up, and as I'm letting the glue dry, I like to go across it with my hand and make sure that it's sticking down good. And then up here closer to the top, I made some of the boards a little crooked so that it looks like some old abandoned house where the boards are just starting to fall off. And then I'm going to do that a lot more on the back because I really like how that looks. Now, I don't actually have enough to do the whole back, so I don't guess we're going to get it done today, but I'm going to still try to work on some of this part up here. I've been sitting here watching creature features while I've been working on this, so that's what I'm watching while I work on gluing all this down. But I do want to start working on the shingles, so I'm going to work on that now. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is you can sort of see through these little cracks there, so I want to bring that down all the way to where you don't see that white under there. I guess I could paint that, but I guess you would start it here, and then you just want to make sure your others overlap. Um, you know, go over that little crack so you don't see where that starts. But all right, so I guess I'm going to use tacky glue for this. And what's good is I've only got to do this little piece here and then the same amount of space over on the other side. On the very top of it here, I'm actually going to use something different, so I don't have to worry about putting them up there. All right, so I'm struggling a little bit. Like, it's not looking, I mean, I was doing okay until I got to that last piece, and then you can see how it's sticking out a little further. It's definitely different from working with cardboard, where you can do them out of cardboard and then just cut them up along the edge and make them even. This is a lot harder to work with. It takes a lot more time and cutting to get it perfect. And at this point, I kind of don't care if it's perfect. I mean, if my siding is going to be crooked, then I don't think it's going to matter if some of these stick out a little further. It might just look like they're, loose or something. So I think it'll be okay. And it's going pretty good though, I guess. But what I've been doing is I'm hot gluing these across here, and just because it holds a little quicker. And then I'm going, just in case if that hot glue ever decides to not want to stick, I'm just going right along here with the tacky glue like I'm doing, just as an extra little hold. So that's just an extra little way to keep it on there. But it looks pretty good. I'm excited. I'm trying to decide what color we're going to make this. Um, Now, with a lot of the Scooby Doo collectibles, of course, I collect a lot of stuff. And a lot of times when they make little toys of Scooby Doo, like a little toy house or whatever, they seem to always go with a purple color. So I'm thinking about a dark purple or a dark gray. I don't know. I don't know if I want it to be purple, blue, black. As long as it's a really dark color, I don't really care. But I kind of want it to look kind of cartoony and Scooby Doo-ish. So I'm liking the idea of a purple house, but I don't know, maybe a dark blue. I just ain't decided yet. Because with a lot of the stuff being purple, it's like, do I want to not do purple since everything's always purple? Or do I want to do like a dark green or a dark, I don't know. I'm just kind of to think about it. But I'm going to keep on trucking on with the shingles, and then we'll jump over to the other side. And then I'm hoping to get a couple other things done today, but I'm going to see how long I've been videoing and see what I've got time to do. All right, so I've got it done, and this is actually all I had left. So it's just like it was meant to be, to have just as many as I did, because it was enough to cover that. And then there might be a little overhang later over the balcony or something where I can just make it big enough to use these that I've got left. And then to cap this off up here and to finish it off, I've cut me out a little piece of a shingle, like this is an actual roof shingle. So I'm going to glue that right into there, and that'll just finish it off. And then, of course, just stain or paint the roof. And then let me see what else we're going to do. That's all led me to this, where I've dumped out this little box, and I'm going through all my little scraps because I know I've got a lot of these pieces cut already. So I'm just going to sort all this and have this ready for when I get back to gluing on the siding. Now I am kind of running out of time just because I've got some other things I need to do today. But we'll check out what I've got done, and then we will. Oh, I didn't know this was in there. I forgot all about that. I don't know why that's in there. I made that out of felt, so that's kind of a weird little thing. I did have that in a frame, and I was wondering where that was, so that's kind of weird. I just found it, but okay, that was random. But yeah, I've got a bunch of these pieces, so I'm gonna see how much I've got and see how much more I need to cut out. And then next time before the next video, I'll have the back side completely covered, and then maybe we can paint it in the next video, because that's like one of my favorite parts. We'll have to decide again what color we want to make it. And so anyways, let's go check out what we did get done today real quick. All right, so here's where, well, no, that's the side that I already had done. Let's see, let's go back to this side. Now there's the side I did today. Not that exciting, but again, I do love how I did the siding this way. I think that really makes it look cute. I kind of should have done it more down in this area, but when I got up here, it was kind of an accident. So I hadn't even planned it, but after I saw how it looked, I thought, well, that kind of looks cool. I should have done it more down at the bottom. And then, of course, you can see the shingles. I'll get a better look at that, but that looks pretty good just from this angle. And then I got, if you can see up there, we got the siding done on this side. So the sides are totally done, but I'll work on the back between now and the next video. But it's looking pretty awesome. So I'm excited with how it's turned out. All right, now here's where we got done, and that looks so good. I love how that looks. Now again, they're not like perfectly perfect, but they look good enough. And like I said, I could kind of do them messy and make them look like, you know, just really like they've been there a long time. So after I thought of that, I just purposely just slapped them on there however. Um, and then of course we've got the bats inside there. I keep forgetting those are in there, but everything looks pretty cute so far. Now in the next video, I will, you know, get to paint and do all the fun stuff. And there's little details that I want to add out here on the side of the house that will have something to do with one of the characters. So anyways, I thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video.